Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach. The day that I'm recording this is, and the time that I'm recording this in the morning is a fairly monumentous day and a sad day for America in terms of a Supreme Court ruling. The videos that I make for, this series of videos for free code session, I try not to get too involved in other issues. I sometimes talk about my family or other things, that are going on in my life. If I ended up talking about this, I would be basically making a whole video on that. And that's not what this is about. I feel very outraged though. And I will probably make a separate video just on my own because I need to talk about this and just what I feel about it. That being said, this is about code, and I'm going to keep on track for this. So continuing on trying to fix all the rocks bugs. The next one I think should be pretty easy to fix. I actually did a little bit of preparation for this and looked at least one. I think it's going to be easy to fix. And then the ones after that, I have no idea. But this one is because we're actually trying to derive from delegate, and we really shouldn't be doing that. So I think somewhere in here, we need to say, oh, okay, so that's another thing I need to do. So I'll fix this, and then I'm going to rerun tests and see which ones I have to fix. Because like I said last night, I am sure there are tests that are breaking because the generated code isn't matching. So in any event, how do I want to do this? Generators, class, create generator tests. Do I have one in here that just says rock create generator tests? Yeah, I think this is probably a good one to say. Because do we have one for mock information? I thought we do. Yes, we do. So let's actually do that there. That's the right place to put it, I believe. So like you're seeing here, I'm doing things with that. I don't think this should it given a diagnostic, or should it just say that? Yeah, it should just say type as no mockable members, because we're going to come back and say, no, you can't do this. So let's do something like that. Let's grab this one. Okay. And then we'll come down here. Let's actually do, that's fine. Create when class is delegate. Okay. Well, we're actually giving, you can't see it. Yeah, that's a funny thing. You can't derive from delegate directly. Like you can't say public class my delegate, and that's going to bark at me because you should end words with delegate, type names with delegate. My method thingy derives from delegate. You're going to see that this is going to give you an error that says you cannot derive from special class delegate. Okay. But what I can do is say public I do this so infrequently, I don't even remember. Void my special thingy. Okay. Now, my special thingy is a delegate, so it derives from delegate, okay? And you just don't see that here. If I actually went into, actually, let's go to Sharp Lab. Let's do that. sharplab.io. And let's just grab this that we just did and put that in here and not use a syntax tree. Let's look at DIL. Because somewhere in here, yeah, you see that we actually derive from multicast delegate, which derives from delegate. You just don't do it directly in your code. So what we're going to need to do here is something that says my special method. Okay, we could say my special delegate, but we could say delegate void target type name. And then we're going to get rid of this and do that. Okay. And so I don't know what get information is doing here. Let's see. That's our target type name. I don't know if this is actually going to give back the right thing. So this might fail, but it might fail because of well, let's see. This should give us back an error that says type has no mockable members diagnostic. So let's just see what this gives us. Okay. So it fails, but why does it fail? Sequence contain no matching elements. Get information, enumerable signal. Yeah, so somewhere down in that helper method we're making, we're not actually getting help. So we're not getting what we were hoping for, which I bet what we're looking for is not what is this? It's a delegate declaration. Yeah, base type declaration is probably what a class declaration derives from. I wish we could say of type this or of type this, because that would be ideal. So, because I believe if we come back over here, delegate should have an identifier. That's an identifier token, and then that would have a name. How to do this? What's the right thing? I could just copy this and say get delegate information, but it feels a little strange too. Can we say single or? Yeah, I could say single or default, and then that would give us a null, and then we could say let's try to if type syntax is null, try a delegate. Okay, because that's the only two that we're going to actually do here. So let's get var descendant nodes equals that. We shouldn't have to do that again. And then let's put that. I could have done like I should force myself to use more of the refactorings that are in Visual Studio. So now let's say delegate declaration. That's what yes. And I would just say single. Most cases, it should be single or default. What are you barking at now? Delegate declaration syntax. Base type declaration. Yes. A delegate declaration. I can't talk this morning. Oops. Okay, navigating to it's a member declaration syntax. This, what is that? Base type. Member declaration syntax. Okay, so those are that's the base. So let's see if this is going to work. So we could say as this. Okay. And now what are you complaining about? What? You're complaining that I'm using pattern matching? Are you joking? Okay. Sure. Now what's the problem here? Declared symbol. It's a member declaration syntax. What are you complaining about? This needs to be an I-type symbol. Now it's, oh my God. There. Now I don't know if this is actually going to work again. So let's say create when that's a delegate. But then we have to run all the other tests to make sure that they're at least not failing anymore and they're still working. Because it would suck if they didn't. Now, why is it failing though? Expected true is false. So it got down to this point and it said that just to be sure, information should give us some that are saying we have mockable, methods, and there's a diagnostic. That's kind of interesting. The type, and well, now it's saying it can't be, is sealed. So, which makes sense, but we want to make sure that it comes back with not even this thing, that if it's a delegate, because we're actually finding the delegate type in our search here and we're saying we shouldn't even use, if you derive from delegate, then yeah, this is actually, it's kind of interesting because we're saying this one is sealed, which means that we wouldn't mock it anyway. But in that code generation test, we find something that is a delegate, and we shouldn't even mess with it. If it's of a delegate type, we shouldn't do anything with it in any way. So the fact that it's actually coming back with methods here is a little suspect. We shouldn't even be doing anything with trying to find methods. We should be checking that first, which is kind of interesting. So let's run through all the tests here first. And let's make sure we still have just one failing and the other ones are still working. Because we wouldn't want that now, would we? Okay, good. That's what we want. Okay. And let's go to mock information. So we say validate. If it's sealed, we add a diagnostic. I would almost say that if you get down to this point, like what was my reasoning behind this? The thing, okay. So the reason that it's actually picking it up is because it's saying we're not stopping a delegate. A delegate is not a sealed type. So we get the method, so it tries to make it, but then when we generate the code around it, we get all these errors because you cannot derive directly from a delegate. So we would not run into this in the quote unquote real world because, well, I take that back because you could do var x is equal to rock.create delegate. Okay. Nothing is going to stop you from doing that. Okay. So, and if you look at a delegate, it is an abstract class. So we definitely do need to stop this because it is possible to at least write that kind of code. Okay. So we want to do something that says var delegate type, which we want to get delegate. Okay. Now I think I have if type to mock. Why type is, I thought I made something that says, are you a base type? I'm almost positive I made a method like that because, of course, I could be wrong. Is open generic pointer, contains diagnostics, get name, get namespaces, get mockable constructors, mockable events, mockable methods, get mockable properties. Oh no. Oh no. Get inheritance hierarchy. I really did not do that. Maybe it's because it's there and I don't, like, is there a way to say off of this? Containing assembly, default value, get mockable name, namespace type. I mean, I know how to write the code, which is you just keep looking at the base types until you don't get it. And if any of the base types equal that, then, but I thought I had written that code. Like if I say base type, current project, okay, find all. Well, that's just because I put that there. That gets your inheritance hierarchy, but that's not really what I, don't pin it. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna look something up. Okay, as you can see here, there is a method. I knew there was some way to do this, but there's actually two and neither one of them are very helpful. There is this classify common conversion and there's has implicit conversion, which if I was reading this right, why do you suddenly go to that? Returns true if there's an implicit or winding conversion from the type to the type. And for some reason, my brain is just exploding. It's like, is this the right way? If there's an implicit conversion from that to that. If you're going from a delegate to a type to mock, no, it wouldn't, but it's the other way around, I believe. And I don't know if this is actually correct. All I want to know is, does this thing derive from this? And so that's why I'm sitting here going, this isn't quite what I'm expecting. You know, I'm almost positive I have used something like a something from here that says derives from or something, you know. Maybe because I wasn't looking at here. Let's see if there's maybe another type symbol default one to tuple mid difference get assembly parse. No. As implicit concern. Yeah, none of this makes sense. I guess this is experimentation in that I should just try this, I guess. It feels kind of weird, but because it's not an implicit conversion, right? Is it? If I said public delegate void foo, which is that, okay, and I said var type foo type is equal to type of foo, or I say var d is equal delegate d is equal to a foo. New. You can't new this up. You can just assign, yeah, it's not exactly what I'm, delegates and all that stuff. It's just blah. My gut is telling me to make my own method that says, do you derive from this in some way, shape, or form? Let's just do it. I'm probably writing too much code. Internal static bool derives from this. I type symbol self this. No, I type symbol. Does it derive from that type? Okay. Oh yeah, that's really helpful. Thank you for giving me a way to to spin into infinity. That's great. Self dot derives from, because I just created that. Okay. Var result false, return result. And now I have to enter a while loop. So say var base type is equal to self dot base type is not null. Actually, we can just say, if we get down to here, we'll say returns false. If base type equals, and this is where we want to use the symbol quality type otherwise we say base type is equal to base type and then we spin. So what we want to say here is now if the type to mock derives from delegate type, now I think we can be a little bit more, and now we got to play a dance here, don't we? Diagnostics. We got our diagnostic constants, which is not helpful. Yeah, I just put in, so I just count the number of diagnostics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be 6. What's an easy one? Sure. So we'll say this. Cannot mock delegates. And this will be 6 is a delegate and cannot be mocked. I think that cannot mock delegates. Okay, so come back here. We'll say this. And so now if we come all the way back to our mock information tests, where we say something about a delegate, this should hopefully now be true, and we shouldn't have broken anything else. Okay, I thought though, model property type to mock methods, diagnostics. So the thing is, we're still going to go through here and we're going to say, oh yes, you do this, but we still come out to doing all this work. But what we will come down to is saying that the type to mock will not be set, and that means we do not have a type to mock. Okay. So we can take that out now. Okay, so I guess for all these mock information tests, we could say assert multiple and then say also, because we're getting assert that information dot type to mock is null. Right? So if I run a test like this, what we should get is this is true because we're saying we cannot mock an enum type. Okay, and that's true. So now I have the funness of, well, let's actually copy this and then grab that, put that in, wait, put that in there. Copy that. No. So now we say this. Copy that. Type is obsolete. Grab that. That there. Copy. Type is open generic. We cannot specify type. Because we want to make sure that create when class is delegate, the one we just did. Create when class is no mockable members. Because if I don't have a test in here that, why am I doing multiple here? Okay, I think I am saying here that if I want to make it a make, then this, not, null, right? Here I'm saying this should be null, and let's pull that into here. This one is that one, and that's okay. No accessible constructors. We probably want to pull that like this because we cannot construct it, so it's a problem. Create our interface has methods. So in this case, what we're saying is this is not null. This is also not null. And guess what this is? Not null. We have a classes method. Properties. Events. Constructors. And that's the last one. Okay. So now, if I run all these tests, they should pass. I really should make a test for that derive from, because it is very limiting. It is only looking at classes. It's not looking at interfaces. It's not, it's not looking at your base interfaces or anything like that. So these all pass. Now, if I come to code generation tests, this should not even work, because we're not going to be mocking. The assert is going to fail here because we're no longer even going to look at a delegate type. But let's uncomment this. Okay. And then let's run this and see how many errors we have. Okay, we're down to 97 now. And let's just take a quick peek in these. Oh, that sucks. Why are we still seeing... Well, that will be the next episode. Cannot derive from special class delegate. We should have picked up that you can't do that. It feels like all this work was for nothing. Yeah, it's still thinking that delegate is a thing. So even though I thought we reduced the amount of stuff, this should definitely say, no, you cannot mock it. Okay, so let's just run this one. And then I'll have to keep working on this in the next episode, because I'm pretty much over as far as I can tell from my estimate. Okay, so the type to mock is a delegate. Does it derive from delegate? Oh, I bet I know what happened here. Yeah, it was a given delegate. Stop. So the problem here is we also need to say, does it derive from? Yes, if you're just looking at the base type. I think what we want to say is self-assignable to. So is self-assignable to type. If we could say, yeah, what we can say here is go this, okay, and then say type to check is that. So if the type to check is equal to that, then return true. And now we start looking through base types and moving on. Okay, so now the code generation test here. Now, no. Let's make sure that our mock information tests don't break. Okay, and if they don't break, then that one should have less than 97, should be around 90 something at least, if not lower, and then we can move on and fixing more things. And then I really need is it assignable to be much better. Okay, so let's give this one more whirl, and then we'll move on to the next one. Oh God, did I? Please no, stop. Take that off. I do not want to be called on that one for every single thing that's going to come through. So just as a side note here, is valid target. No, that's not right. I should be returning. Well, I mean, it works, but really, is it a valid target? Is type to mock not null? That's really what we want to do. 78. And yeah, so now we've got different errors in here. So that's good. I will commit this and continue to figure out. Oh, I want to say right here real quick. Stop. I'll have to grab the other ones. I should have done that, but that's okay. To do this should check that type to mock is not null. That makes it a valid target. All right. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.